Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eric and I like to read, and today I'm doing my sad July wrap up. Now, the reason I said sad is because I only managed to read one novel and one poetry collection and one graphic novel, and that is all I completed this month. It was a very slow reading month for me, mostly because I couldn't find the time to actually read. I had a lot of other extracurricular projects that were kind of taking up all my time for this month. So, yeah, it's sad. This video probably won't be that long because there's not much to go over, but I still wanted to share with you the ones that I did read just because I did manage to complete a little bit. It's a very small pile, but it's still something. I also can't believe I'm going to be 31 in less than a week. Like, that blows my mind. Anyway, so let's just jump right into it. The first book that I finished in the month of July was Saturn, and this is a poetry collection. It really explores the themes of identity and expressing who you are in many different ways. And yeah, there's like a lot of different poems, obviously, because it's poetry, but it's split up into like different sections. There's some on like life, there's some on friendships and like things like that. And so you kind of read through as you go. They're all very different, but all equally as enriching. And yeah, it's a quick read. I think it's only like 70 pages. Yeah, it's like 70 to 80 pages. It's pretty short, but it was a good time. And I had this on my shelf from a long time ago, so I figured I might as well just hammer out this poetry. I also like getting poetry collections because they're always so different and you get to learn so much about the person that wrote them because these poems are coming straight from the heart. And I feel like the person is always trying to tell like an interconnected story through these poems, which is cool. But yeah, it's very interesting just to read through poetry. It's not like something that I typically pick up that often. I also like getting poetry collections because once I'm done with them, I like to pass them on to the person that works at the used bookstore because I know that they're a big fan of poetry. So yeah, I kind of just like bring this along when I go, or any other poetry that I've read, I bring it and pass it on to them. So yeah. Then the graphic novel I read was Deathstroke, and this is volume one, The Professional. So I actually really liked this one. I think I gave it 5 out of 5 stars because it's following Deathstroke and he is trying to get his daughter out of like a tough situation because he finds out that somebody has put a contract hit on his daughter. Now, to be fair, his daughter is also an assassin that was trained by him. So she can handle herself, but he wants to make sure that she is extra safe. And so he goes and teams up with her to help her stay safe and figure out who has hired the contract to kill his daughter. So they're working together to figure it out. And yeah, you get some fun side characters jumping into this one, like Robin and Batman. So it's a lot of fun. As you know, I love Batman. I think, yeah, if I move to the side here, I have like an entire collection of all Batman from like his best comics, I think of 2013, because for some reason I thought it would be a fun idea to just to collect all those. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Batman. He's my favorite DC hero. But anyways, I was very happy to see him in this, and I had a great time learning a bit more about like Deathstroke's backstory and what he has gone through, and also like how his daughter kind of got to where she is. There's not too much on his daughter's backstory because you're going into this one knowing that like she's already a character. So that has been formed in some other series, but I did really enjoy this one. So yeah, it was a fun time. And then the last thing I read was A Land Without Wolves, and this is one of the books that Temple Dark Books gave me. So I picked this one up. I mistakenly thought that this was a werewolf story. It's just a play on words. There's no werewolves in this book. So don't go into it thinking that like I did, because I was expecting to like have some cool like paranormal activity, and there's not much paranormal activity, I'll say that. I will also say I read into the back wrong because it says that there's like teachings of the underworld. So I was like, ooh, like devils and like maybe demons and stuff, but it means underworld like the underworld, like the black market kind of like underworld, not not involving paranormal things. So my expectations were somewhere that they really shouldn't have been, and it was my own fault. But yeah, I would probably give this book a 3 out of 5 stars. It was a decent read. It took me a while to get through it, mainly because it is kind of like a historical fiction, and those are not like the genre that I typically go for. So that kind of like dragged it on for me. I did really like that there was a mentor trope in this, because I always think that's fun in a book when you're like following along with a mentee that's learning from an experienced mentor and like learning the tricks of the trade and stuff like that. And there was a big emphasis on literature in this book and how literature kind of like enriches your life. And especially since this is set in like medieval Ireland, so it was interesting to like learn how different characters viewed literature in that sense. And yeah, the book definitely does get dark. You're kind of following along with like two characters that are, I don't know if crusader is the right word, but they're like bandits. I think bandits would be a better word, where they kind of rob like passing carts and things and steal things from the rich. But they don't really give it to the poor. They just keep it for themselves. So they're definitely bandits. But yeah, I don't know. It was interesting, and it was following along with these two characters. You follow Moog and Joseph McTire, I think was his name. And it's the two of them kind of working together as mentor and mentee of like banditry. And yeah, it was interesting. I will say it was quite long. And another thing was that the page numbers in this book are in Roman numerals. Like they're all Roman numerals. There's no actual like regular page numbers. So if you don't want to look up Roman numerals, then you just kind of gotta go with it and not know what page you're on, which is what I did. But yeah, so there was that. And it is written in a way that's like very, very, very telly rather than showy, if that makes sense. So it's like it's describing a story as if it's like being narrated a lot of the time, rather than things actually happening like quickly. So it was more of a slower pace, which is not my typical thing. I'm pretty wanting to have like those fast-paced books. So that did probably bring it down to why it's like a 3 star. But I still think it was a decent book. And yeah, if you want like something that's set in medieval Ireland, where you get bandits, you get battles, there are some like gory scenes in here too, you get to experience like the Irish countryside, then this would be a book that you might want to check out. But yeah, that's it. Those are all the books that I read in the month of July. Not the most lucrative reading month, to say the least, but I did my best, and that's all I can do. Also, before I go, I wanted to give a shout out to a science fiction author that I've been chatting with. Their name is Gerald M. Kilby, and they write science fiction. They had reached out to me asking if I could review one of their books, but unfortunately I just don't have the time to take that on right now. But I took a look at their website, and I wanted to say that all of their books look and sound really good. So I wanted to just give them like a little shout out here, so you guys can maybe go check out their channel and see what kind of sci-fi books they have to offer. They have a whole bunch of series on there that they've already written, and like, let me tell you, they do look really good. I do plan to pick these up eventually in the future when I have more time and more capacity to be able to read them. But yeah, I just wanted to give them a little shout out. So go check out their channel, go see what they have. I think they also offer some of their books in audiobook format on YouTube. So definitely go check that out as well. I'll put that information in the description down below. Anyways, if you guys want to support me, I have a Patreon and Coffee page, which I'll put in the description down below, as well as a link to buy my bookmarks. You guys know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification button so you get notified when I post new videos. I post my videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And until next time, keep on reading.